leave it up for Lindsay.
Thank you. So thank you guys all for being here, and thank you to Christina and Sleek Marketing for having me. Now, my name is Lindsay Higgins, and I actually used to work at Constant Contact, the inventor of email marketing. Has anybody ever heard of Constant Contact before? Any customers in here already? Awesome. Okay, great. So I'm going to talk about the power of the inbox, because that's where all of your customers are every day. Everybody's checking their email. So here's my contact information. Feel free to tweet anything that you've learned and use hashtag #LearnSleek. But let's get started. And so just a little background about Constant Contact. Now, Constant Contact invented email marketing in the 90s in Brookline, Mass, and in an attic. And you know those nice professional looking emails that you may get from Kohl's or TJ Maxx or any of the big name stores, those nice professional branded emails that those companies send out to you. That's what Constant Contact does, but on a small business level. So at an affordable price, it's $20 a month, and you're able to see who's opened the email, how many times, and all reporting data. So that's, I used to work at Constant Contact at the corporate office, then branched out on my own, and now I own Leave It to Lindsay, a social media marketing company in Hingham. So I'm a South Shore girl, and here to talk about, okay. Sorry, I'm on a different computer right now, so it's kind of different here. Okay. So let's get started. So first impressions matter. When you send out an email, people are going to judge you right when they open that email. What you want them to do and take that next step is going to be, it's how you structure your marketing campaign. So if you're trying to increase registrations for an event that you have coming up, if you're looking to sell a product and you want them to buy, then that needs to be right when the person opens the email. They need to see what you want them to do. Is there going to be a link, a button that stands out that you're going to drive them to your website? So having a nice constructed email is definitely important for making your brand and your company stand out. Now, why email marketing versus email? So everybody has an email, a Gmail account, or Yahoo, or Outlook, whatever you want to use. I see a lot of people use a, BCC, like 100 people, and no one knows who's on the email, but you can actually get reported for spam that way and send out an email that is just from your Gmail or Outlook, any of those. But which one do you look to right away? Do you all look at this one right away? So this one is a nice professional branded email. So you can see call to action right here, visit our site, picture the logo, versus this email that if this company, Southside Cycling, sent out this email, it's kind of like you open it and you just go, you maybe go to the tree, you just put it in your trash, or you get rid of it, right? So you're more likely to have a response with a nice branded email, and pictures have color scheme to create that brand consistency. So email marketing is delivering professional email communications to an interested audience. So you're sending emails to people that you already know, and being able to send information that that person's going to find relevant to your business. So whether it's tips and tricks or promotional material, you're sending that information they find valuable, and that looks great in any inbox. So again, like I said, there's a lot of different email marketing service providers, and Constant Contact is one of them. But with email marketing, a service provider, you're able to get straight to their inbox with a 99% deliverability rate, and have that nice professional communication, and also be able to track reporting details, which Gmail you can't do. Does anybody use Gmail or any other service provider that doesn't? And there's like a limit, I think, right, where it's like if you have, I think it's like 100 or so, it'll block you out, and then you have to redo it. So with a service provider, you don't have to deal with any of that. So what can it do for your business? So boost repeat business. So if you're looking to get people to come back through the door, sending a promotional email just like this one here will drive more traffic into your business. And create and increase awareness. So, funny story, I was in Las Vegas last year, and I try to be consistent with my marketing and send out my monthly newsletter. And I have it so you'll see my logo, my color scheme, it's all teal. And I saw somebody that I met a couple of years ago, and he's from Canada. And we were all talking, a bunch of us, about how, what do we talk about in our newsletters? And someone said, oh, do you get her newsletter? And he's like, oh, what's your name? And I said, oh, I'm Lindsay. And he said, oh, yeah, leave it to Lindsay. And he recognized my logo that I had on my name tag. So I know that it was just that brand consistency from my emails to taking it offline. Like I see this guy maybe every couple of years, and he just recognized the logo and brand consistency from my email. So it's a way to just stay top of mind. Even if I don't do business with him, or if I, if he's not a client, he still is, I'm keeping my business top of mind by sending my email. So what can it do for your business? Drive revenue and profit. And with this slide, it just reminds me of the salon that I go to. And the salon that I go to, one day I just saw the stylists just kind of sitting around waiting for people to come in the door. And I just thought to myself, and I try to not sell them constant contact as much as I want to. I just kind of sit back and just observe. But I just thought, like, oh my gosh, they're just waiting for people to just come in the door and just do business and get their hair done or anything. And I just thought, oh my gosh, if they had a strategy in place, I mean, they could totally bring in business on their off hours, so they wouldn't have to be sitting around and just waiting for somebody to come in. So it's definitely a great way to just bring people in faster by reaching them directly in their inbox. So here's the agenda that we're going to talk about today. So why email marketing, and just the importance of a service provider, harnessing the power of the inbox, how to grow a healthy list of contacts of who you're going to even send to, create great content. So what are you going to say in your emails when you send out something? Having that brand consistency and having an email that matches your website and how to do that, how to get your email opened, tracking your results. So when you send out an email, how do you know if it's effective or not? And then we'll circle back and review. So we'll start with why email marketing. So the #1 app on all cell phones, I mean, there's so many apps, and you'd think, oh, maybe the #1 app is Facebook or, any Twitter. But the #1 app, it's email. Everybody has email, and more people are opening emails on their mobile device, and they're checking their email on the go. So you have to be where everybody is and adapt to all the changes. And we'll talk about that in a few slides. So marketing has changed. Marketing then was all about, years ago, creating radio ads and TV ads, and it was all about doing all of this expensive marketing to find your next customer and then keeping them. So now, with all these online tools available, it's all about having the existing customer and growing your business through that existing customer. So providing that customer a great experience with your business, going above and beyond so that they want to tell all of their friends about your business through social media, through Facebook posts, and grow your business and have it be more affordable than just the traditional ways of TV and radio and expensive advertising. And engagement is the new word of mouth. Before, back in the day, I just think of my dad. He would talk about, he would go over the side of the yard and just talk to my neighbor about whatever's going on. And it was all about, just talking over the fence and just, oh, have you gone out to dinner this week? And that's kind of how you got the word out. But now it's social media. You go out to breakfast, you post a picture of your food and tell everybody about it, right? Or, you're posting a picture of your kids or anything to get the word out. It's no longer about, talking over the fence. It's all about online. And I just added this to my presentation the other day, but this was my friend that posted on Facebook, and I was just like, oh, can I use this for my presentation? This is perfect. This is a prime example. But he wrote, gotta recognize great service. My accountant, Dave Ferguson of Ferguson & Ferguson, has been good to me for years. But this year, he went out of his way to help me fix some complex stock option accounting issues. If you have a business or even just a tricky tax concern, then Dave is your guy. So when I saw this, I just had to use it. But this is like a prime example. So Dave Ferguson of Ferguson & Ferguson, if anybody knows him, you'll have to tell him that you saw him in my presentation today. But he gave a great experience to my friend Jim, and Jim was just like beyond thrilled about it that he posted it on Facebook and wants to tell everybody about Dave's business and help him grow his business because of that great experience. So whenever I first talk to a new client, they always say, oh, well, I don't need email. I don't want to bother anybody. That's just not our business. We don't want to. Everybody gets so many emails already. We have Facebook. That's how we get the word out. But the thing is, email gets delivered 90, depending on the service provider, 90+% of the time. And Facebook posts just reach 2% of fans. So this is a perfect example. This is my client, Attleboro Farms in North Attleboro, Mass. And they have just over 3,700 likes on their Facebook page. But when you post, you'll see that it's 73 people reached. So although they have 3,200 people that love their business and like their page, when they post something, it doesn't necessarily mean that's actually 2% of the likes that actually saw their post about them closing. So with email, sending an email saying, hey, we'll be closed Monday, March 21st, you know that that's going to get right directly to people in their inbox, because this post, you can see, it didn't reach all their 3,200 people. So just relying on Facebook alone, you can't. And of course now Facebook makes you pay to play, so you can spend 20 bucks, 30 bucks, whatever you want to make sure that it's seen at the top of everyone's newsfeed. But again, email's more reliable and less expensive way to make sure that everybody knows, hey, we're going to be closed today. So just some statistics about repeat customers buy more. And whenever I work with a new client, they always say, well, we're looking for new customers. We're looking for ways to get new customers. And I say, well, to get new customers, you have to start with existing customers, because you're more likely to get a new client or a new customer from somebody that you already do business with than spending all this money to try to capture new clients. It's more affordable this way. So why regular email doesn't work. So here's just an example. Again, if you use like Gmail or something, I know that I love this consignment store in the South Shore. And I signed up for their email list, and they were using Gmail, and they would send out these emails, and they ended up creating like 6 or 7 email addresses, so that it's like consignment store 1, consignment store 2, consignment store 3. And I'm just like getting all of these, and I'm like, I don't even, like, some of them was going to spam, and there was just so many that I couldn't keep up with it. And it's not beneficial because they can't see who is even opening their emails, if any of the emails are bouncing, any of that. So you're also more likely to have a potential spam complaint. There's all these laws now that if there's not an unsubscribe button, you could be violating the Canned Spam Act. And also, going back to the tracking and reporting, how do you know that it's an effective way? How do you know that your emails aren't bouncing? How do you know if anybody's even opening your emails? How do you know it's not going to spam? So you're able to see all of that with an email service provider like Constant Contact, or there's others out there, but that's my favorite, of course. So one of the things that a service provider has is templates available, so you don't need to be a graphic designer, you don't need to have any graphic or design expertise. you can choose a template, plug in your information, color scheme, logo, all of that, and be able to format it in a nice professional manner so that you really blow your customers away when you give them a visual example versus just all text. And it's also these templates in Constant Contact. I don't know about other providers, but since everybody's on the go now and always, reading their email on their phone, these are mobile responsive templates, so you don't have to pinch and scroll to be able to see and review what somebody has sent you. So they automatically adjust, which is a really big deal now because, again, mobile is huge. So growing your list. So another thing that a lot of people, whenever I work with a new client, they say, well, where do I get these email contacts? I don't have a list. Do I have to buy a list or no? So it's all about your existing customers. So if you have a Excel spreadsheet of contacts, or if you have, I always say, okay, do you use QuickBooks Online? There, you can find email addresses there. You can find email addresses. I have like a big stack of business cards in a bag that once a month I have to, go through and add them to my email list. But it's all about working with people you already know and staying in touch with the people that you're trying to build a relationship with. And so going on, the importance of permission. So getting express consent, so asking permission to send them an email. And I have evaluation forms at the front there, and right at the bottom it says, would you like to join my mailing list to find out upcoming events that I'll be at, or marketing offers. So you have the option to subscribe to my mailing list. So there's my compliance right there. But be straightforward. I wrote on the evaluation form as well that it's my monthly-ish kind of email. I try to stay consistent, but I'm busy helping everybody else market their business. I kind of put mine last. Also, the opt-out. You have the ability, if you were on my email list, you can unsubscribe at the bottom, or even update your preferences. So if you're like, Lindsay, this monthly email-ish kind of is too much, you can opt to receive it quarterly. Whereas if I sent it through Gmail or any other service provider, then you wouldn't be able to update your preferences or even unsubscribe. And it's always awkward too. I must have, my information is probably out and about all over with directory listings, and I get these emails with pitches for web design services, or I have no idea who they are, but they find my information offline, and I have to awkwardly send them a reply like, hey, can you remove me from your email list? Like, I don't know you. It's just, I'm not interested. So respect privacy. If you do use a service provider, Constant Contact has a policy, privacy policy at the bottom. So it says, hey, this email was sent from Constant Contact, and we'll never use your information we'll never sell your information. Don't overwhelm. I found a boutique on Instagram that I love, and I signed up for their email list. And I think I was at my computer all day the other day, and I think I got like 3 emails from them in one day, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of overwhelming here. So that's when it's like, okay, know your audience, know 3 emails in one day may be a little excessive. So, and also follow compliance guidelines, so can spam. Make sure you set the expectation, hey, we're going to send you an email once a month. We're going to talk about special marketing offers. We're going to talk about X, Y, and Z. So set the expectation and make sure that you have your valid contact information as well in your email. So this is a website that someone, Building Aspirations is the name, and they have a page on their website that says all of the reasons why someone should sign up for their newsletter. So I really love this, and I was like, oh, I should probably do something like this for mine. But it was just, bullet points, sets the expectation, and has the link, so you can post this link to Constant Contact where somebody can just sign up right for your list, right from that person's website, and then there's an automatic welcome email that's triggered, and it'll say, hey, thanks a bunch for subscribing. We look forward to working with you in the near future. Remember, keep an eye out. Our next email will be out in the next month, and just kind of sets the expectation and is a great way to grow your list, because you're telling everybody what they're going to receive, when they're going to receive it, and just all the reasons why somebody should get on your list. And so where to ask. So here's a fishbowl that I have at the front. So I have my fishbowl that I lug around with me, and you can collect email addresses at events, so a sign-up sheet. I designed this, I work with a restaurant in Boston, and one of the ways that to help them grow their list is we put in a card in their menu, so that if you want to subscribe to, if you want to receive a free meal on your birthday, or find out the next upcoming event, then you can subscribe, and it's just right in the menu presenter. So try to think of out-of-the-box ways where, okay, how can I get new customers to get on my email list? And this is a really fun way that is available in Constant Contact. I don't know, again, about other service providers, but it's a way for businesses to grow your email list through text message. So what you do is you open up a blank text message, and I don't even know if this specifically works, but for this keyword. But you open up a blank text message, and you text a number that Constant Contact assigns to you. And you create this keyword, so this one's Salon Bella. So it's like text Salon Bella to 22343, and what is the offer? For $10 off your next purchase. So when somebody texts this keyword to the phone number, they'll have a response automatically that says, hi, thanks for your interest. Please reply with your email address to be added to our email list. So then you just text back to this robot, and you are automatically added to that person, this Salon Bella's email list. So it's a great way, this was a really great way to just put a sign outside and encourage people, hey, text to join, that's what it's called. And that all their information goes automatically right into Constant Contact. So just a great way to take it offline and grow your list offline. And again, so don't forget to give them a reason, and if you're just sitting here thinking like, oh, what could I say is the reason for somebody to join my mailing list? I mean, you can do ongoing education. So with my email list, okay, I try to provide a marketing video every month where it's me just, quick minute talking about, hey, here's a great way to grow your list this month, or anything related to marketing. VIP preferences, so if you're like a restaurant, then you can say, oh, VIP only access to this event, or no cover charge, anything along those lines. Insider news or exclusive access. My best example with this is my Attleboro Farms client. We post on Facebook before we send out a newsletter. So last month we posted, our next newsletter is about to go out. Sign up for our email here and hear about our exclusive email-only announcements first, and we have a big announcement that we're sharing with everyone. So setting the expectation that if you join our email list, you'll find out our news before we post it on Facebook. That kind of gets people thinking, oh, what are they doing? An ebook, a white paper, or guide. So on my website, there's a pop-up when you go to my website, and it will say, download the social media template that I use with my clients. And you have to enter your email address to receive it. So offering someone a content marketing solution, so a white paper, a guide. I just created a guide for a restaurant broker that is an ebook that is, what did we call it? It was the learn the ins and outs of buying a restaurant in Boston. So to receive it, you have to enter in your email address. Updates on your mission, so any updates that are going on with your business. And friends and family discounts, so that's always a good one too. But if you're sending people stuff that is not relevant, then they're going to unsubscribe. So make sure that you're getting the right information to the right people, and we'll talk about that. So it's not always about you. So whenever I work with a new client on email marketing and they are trying to figure out, oh, well, we got to say this about my business, or, oh my gosh, I have to give you 30 years of my business right now so I can put it in this email. And it's not about that. It's about focusing on being relevant so that your message gets across to them so that they can read it fast, on the go, and just really quick with just getting your point across. And using images as well. So turning questions into content. So say that there's just, if you look through your emails, you'll be able to see, okay, what are people asking me? What are my clients, what are my customers asking me that I see all the time? So one of the questions I get is, oh, how many times should I post on Facebook? So I could use that to turn it into a blog. I could use that to turn it into a sample email. So I can turn questions into content to provide relevant information for customers that I know everybody's been asking me this, and saying that, you know, frequently asked questions, your questions answered. So this is an example, this is my favorite example. I have a client that's a mortgage broker, and mortgages can only be so fun to talk about, and I came up with the idea of doing just like a funny real estate blurb to send to her contacts in the industry, so real estate attorneys and people she does business with. And so something that I saw that really stuck out, and it's the realtor versus realtor, and people loved it. And she said that, she's like, oh, I was out with people that I went to high school with, and somehow they're on my email newsletter, and they're saying, oh, they love Mortgages with Mary in the morning, and it's just trying to identify with your audience and making her business top of mind through just something that people would find interesting and funny. And so we try to send this every other Monday, so that it's kind of like your motivation to start the week on a good note. But then we just write in, you know, maybe a line about just like the current mortgage rates, and contact me for any updates or some call to action. But just the statistics here, so 38% of people unsubscribe if it's boring. So if I sent mortgage emails with just numbers and information about mortgages, I know I would definitely unsubscribe. That would be extremely boring to me. So having something fun, using pictures, you can definitely connect with your clients on another level. Another statistic, 32% send your email to spam if it's totally irrelevant. So that's what I definitely do that. When I get those pitches from, you know, out of the country or wherever, asking, oh, do you need this service, or we can do this for you, I send it right to spam because I can't even see that there's an unsubscribe or anything along those lines. So how much is enough? So less is more. So again, it doesn't need to be, when I usually do an email audit anytime I work with a new client, and I take a look at their existing newsletter, and I've seen newsletters that are just pages long. And there's actually one of the schools in my town, I found it online, and their newsletter, and it goes on for like a good 3 pages. And yeah, it has a ton of great information, but again, less is more. People are reading it on the go, and you want to just get your point across, because people don't have time these days. They're overwhelmed with just the economy. They're working late, and again, they're just on the go. So less is more. And just some best practices. So 3 pictures or less in your email, and 20 lines of text or less. And here is just some stats from Constant Contact. They do surveys like this all the time, where they have survey their 600,000 customers around the country, and fewer links equals more clicks. So if you have one link, that's going to help drive, what do you want that person to do? If you want them to register for an event, then have the registration button visible and the only link. If you have just a newsletter where you're trying to drive traffic to a blog post or your website, then you can have a couple links, but usually no more than 5, because then it's unclear with what do you want your customer to do? Do you want them to contact you for a consultation? Do you want them to get in touch with you? So trying to do fewer than 5 links is always good. And again, just turn questions into content. So just some sample questions from various industries. How do I ensure my pipes won't burst this winter? So that's a good one for a service provider. Or a tax question, do I get to deduct mileage? I drive from work to home each day. What's a simple way to pick the right wine? How do I get more people to show up at my events? And so this is kind of the matching answer for each of them. So what you could do is 5 ways to protect your pipes from freezing this winter, or answers to your top 3 mileage deduction questions. So think about what questions your customers are asking you and how you can turn that into a blog or a email newsletter that you can use. And images are content too, so don't be afraid to use images. And this is just an example of a boutique that I work with, that we try to put images of their products into their email, so you can see, oh, okay, I love those boots. Oh, maybe they'll still be there, and just kind of giving people a visual as to what's in the store versus, hey, 50% off or something along those lines. And communicating through images. So just a quick tip, even hyperlinking your images can drive a huge result with your click-through rate. So if you have an image in your emails and you make that image clickable, then that also, you'll definitely see your click-through rate go up, because people do click around to see what the call to action is, and what do you want that person to do. And stock photos. So using photos, if you don't have photos, if you're a business to business and you're like, well, it's just me in my office, I don't have any pictures, you can use stock images. Constant Contact has a library where, and this is just, so many people don't realize that this is available when I talk to them, but there's an option where, because I don't want to pay $25 for a stock photo, I think that's ridiculous, so there's an option where you can actually change the setting so that you only get free images displayed to choose from. But these are a few of the stock image sites that I personally use that, oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't updated. The Pexels is great. I love photos that are just not stock photo-y, and these are definitely a few of my favorites that I get all my stuff from. And so this is just a screenshot of my website, and I have that teal color, and with my email template, I want to make sure that I have that and create that brand consistency. So I have an email template that matches my website, which is an offer for today. If anybody is interested in having this done, just mark it on your evaluation form, and I can create this at no charge. But this is, make sure that your brand is consistent everywhere, so that when people open your emails, they're able to immediately identify with your brand and know, oh, this is Leave It to Lindsay. I recognize that logo. I recognize those colors. And it was just going back to the guy in Las Vegas from Canada that I never see. He, recognized my logo from my emails, so he was able to quickly identify with me on who I was. And newsletters, announcements, promotions, depending on whatever type of email that you want to create and send to your audience, then here's just some best practices on the frequency, because it's like, how much is too much? Again, promotions, probably no more, like, don't do 3 times a day. Always, you could do, I have a lot of retail clients that think bi-weekly is just enough. I have clients that will do newsletters that they think they just want to do quarterly. I have others that will do, a quick, couple lines with just an announcement every month. So, and it's all about testing too. And just, again, be recognizable everywhere, so make sure that you're consistent. Best example I have is, I just started working with a new client, and I looked at their website, and there's like an orange, and then there's a blue, and then there's a black, and there's all these colors, and then their logo's black. But I was just trying to think of, okay, well, what color is their color? How can I quickly have their customers recognize who this is from other than their black logo? So make sure that, just think back, okay, what does my website have? What are my colors? So again, mine's the teal, and I try to be consistent across all platforms. And just a simple recipe for success. Single column templates. There are a lot of templates out there available where there's like a side column where you can put links, and then there's another column where you can put paragraphs of information. Because nowadays everybody's on their mobile device, having a single column template like this, which means so there's nothing on the sides, or it's not like set up like a newsletter. You can have that fast on the go access to giving people the content that you want them to know about. Fewer than 3 images, so no more than 3 is usually best practice. Again, fewer than 20 lines of text, and no more than 3 to 5 links. An action above the scroll line is a really good practice. So this example, Half Moon Yoga Studio, the goal for this email is to get people to sign up for a yoga class. So you can see the purple, the sign up today, is prominent, it's right there, and it's right above the scroll. So people, right before they scroll down on their mobile device, then you can see that, hey, they want me to sign up. Okay, that's very clear. And just 4 reasons to pay attention to the email is just a compelling subject line, recognized sender, good timing, easy share options. And one of the best examples I have about this is when I started working with a client, I noticed they had really low open rates, and the emails, were short and sweet, and we got them a mobile template, and I noticed he would always send his emails at like 9 a.m. In the mornings. And I said, have you ever tested any other times of sending this email with your sale announcements? He goes, well, my customer is somebody that is in an office all day. They're probably getting to their office. They're probably sitting down at their desk around 9. So that's probably when I'm going to get them. But I was like, okay, well, why don't we send it at a different time and see what happens? So we tested it a couple different times, and turns out that he got a better open rate with a 2 o'clock email than the 9 a.m. when somebody's just sitting at their desk, because they could be overwhelmed, their inbox could be flooded. So we started to see definitely a bigger result with the timing. Again, another issue that I often see with email audits is recognized sender and who sent the email. So when it shows up in your inbox, is it saying from Susie, or is it saying from Capital Investments? So more people, if it's just that individual, more people are going to relate to Susie versus Capital Investments. I don't know what Capital Investments is. So having the option, there's settings that you can change where it says that the email is going to be from Susie versus the business name. And personalization is definitely one of the key trends for this year. Easy share options, can I send to friends? So there's links in constant contact emails where you have the ability to forward the email to a friend, and there's a sign up. So if this email is forwarded, then people can sign up. There's also a links at the top where you have the ability to share on social media, and also put your social media links. And I have a slide with that image as well. But who sent it? How do people know you best? So from name and from email, recognizable. And it goes back to just, okay, with me, I have mine as it's coming from Lindsay versus leave it to Lindsay. So it's just how people know you and resonate with your business. And subject lines, this is a huge thing. So when I first start working with someone on their email and they're doing like a test email, sometimes they forget to change the subject line. So the subject line will say like insert subject line here, and they'll send that out and I'm like, oh no, like what are you doing? I'm like, wait. So, and you can't get it back, but having something fun and, just like, don't open this if, and then ... to pique curiosity and be like, oh, what is, it's just kind of like, oh, what are they going to say? Gets people to open your emails more. And is it worth reading? So again, keeping it clever and clear and just something people would want to read. Again, entice them, use teaser text. So in this example, this is just kind of a visual of what I was just speaking to. This was Half Moon Yoga, Acro Yoga at 10,000 feet, you win, ? And then you can see the teaser text is aspire to higher ground, join us for this, and then it's like ... It's like, whoa, what does the rest say? Avoid with your subject lines. These are the terms that usually get filtered into the spam. So saying, credit or, money or act now, free, guaranteed, or excessive punctuation. These are just all of the practices that usually spam filters will detect this and it'll be a red flag. And just size matters. Keep it clear, keep it clever, keep it short with your subject lines. So 30 to 40 characters max with your subject lines. 6 to 10 words is best. 4 to 7 has been proven to give a great response. And that teaser text that I was just talking about, that's also known as the pre-header text that will show up in somebody's, if you get like an Outlook notification, you'll see like, oh, it's an email from so-and-so, and then you'll see a little bit of the email. That's what you can expect with that. And timing, just creating a master schedule. So keep the promises that you made at sign up. So, hey, I send a monthly email, and just coordinate with, okay, when am I going to send this? Am I going to send this at 9 a.m. or am I going to try at 2 p.m.? And it's all about testing because there's no right answer with marketing. It's all about seeing, okay, this was 30% of an open rate. Now this email did, this was a 15%. What was the differences? And really analyzing what worked and what didn't, and just making adjustments. This is just some statistics with various industries on the best time to send emails. With restaurants, financial advisors, hotels, religious organizations, and arts and crafts. But this is just kind of based on a sample of industries, but again, it goes back to what works for you and your business, and it's all about testing. And when to send. So again, going back to my example with the 9 a.m. versus 2 p.m. There's different statistics on different industries, and so many factors and variables as to how people are seeing you in the inbox. Are they seeing your name, or are they seeing your brokerage name? Are they seeing insert subject line here? Are they seeing, or a more creative subject line? So again, get to know what's right for you, how to test the day and time. So select 2 different audiences. So if you have a contact list that's customers, you have a contact list that's networking contacts, send your email to the networking contacts on one day at one time, and that same email send to your clients, and see which one has a better open rate, and to really analyze, okay, which one did the best, and what did I do with this email, and what didn't I do with that email, to see the best day, and also do that with times as well.
quick question.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you have to go to the same audience to see if there is a difference of the day? Because if you go to a different audience, you could just be that different audience, right?
Right, yeah. So it all depends on your business and your contacts for your business. So let's say if you just have a, let's say it's a retail store, then you can split that list into two and create just two separate lists and do, retail 1, retail 2, and just send an email and just see, which works. Like for my audience, I know it's all business to business. So, I mean, it really just depends on your business and your goals and what you're trying to accomplish. This was just the social sharing buttons that I mentioned at the top. So you see the Facebook icon and the plus sign. So this enables people to share that email to their social networks. So it goes back to that example of Jim and just him, spreading the word. If the Ferguson advisors had an email, Jim could just click on one of those links at the top to share Ferguson's accounting email to all of his network on his social media. So those buttons increase click-through rates by 158%. And don't forget to put in your social links as well. So your Facebook, your Pinterest, your Instagram. And just tracking your results. So know what reporting matters. Focus on the click-throughs. If people are clicking in your email, that means they're really interested. Those are your super fans, if you will. So those are the people that are really interested in what you have to say and really want to learn more. So if they're clicking on a link to your website, if they're clicking on a link to your Facebook page, then you're able to track all of that in a service provider and also be able to say, okay, well, we directed them there. Let's say it's an e-commerce site. Okay, we directed them to the website. They didn't make a purchase. Okay, what can we do differently so that next time they make that purchase? So using all of that data to make the decision for your next marketing campaign is definitely valuable. And this is just like a sample of what the reporting looks like in Constant Contact. So you'll be able to see how many emails the email was sent to, the bounce rate. So if you had a bad email address, if it's at AOL.com versus AOL.com, you'll be able to see all of that and change all of that. You'll be able to see if somebody marked you as spam. You'll be able to see if somebody unsubscribed or opened, clicked or forwarded the email to a friend. All of that reporting is available. And these are just a few of the terms, what these metrics mean. If somebody's sharing, okay, that means they're sharing it to their friends. If it's bouncing, it's a bad email. So these are just a couple of the terms for email marketing. And it's definitely healthy to have an audit with your emails done, at least, if you can do it once a month or as often as you possibly can. I offer email audits for free of charge with Constant Contact customers. And it's all about analyzing, okay, you had a great subject line here, but maybe the email is coming from Capital Investments versus Susie. If there's so many different variables, maybe your emails are not on a mobile-friendly template, so people are having to pinch and scroll and they just end up not even opening it. It could be that there's an authentication of the email, so that there's a setting that you have to just switch on and make sure that it's coming, your email is verified, so spam filters don't pick that up. And that's a big one that I see with email audits, that people don't even know that they have to click on that. But there's all these different variables with what works and what doesn't. So having a second opinion is always definitely great. So if you haven't ever done any email marketing before, I highly recommend on the evaluation forms, if you could mark on the evaluation forms if you'd like to try Constant Contact. It's free, there's no obligation. There's a free trial, so you can choose if you choose 5 people and create an email and send it out, you'll be able to see all of this for yourself and view all these reporting details and see what happens, see what works, what doesn't, to really test it and see, what kind of response that you do get. And just what an ideal email looks like. Just keeping the preview pane in mind, so just those the subject line and just the ... that always works great. And business name instead of the, is it business name or personal contact, whichever one works for your business. Keeping your logo left or center, never on the right. Those emails always do well. Making your pictures able, so if you click on this yoga picture, then you'll be directed to the website. And just keeping your brand consistent, keeping it short, sweet, and using your social media buttons. So